pretty competent at zoning him. So
You're right.
Ooh.
and they go for a void.
The crystallized faceless void, and you don't have the classic like chronosphere combo here necessarily. Although the gyro call down is of course something.
Witch Doctor.
Witch Doctor Ward. That's fine. But crystallized is just really good on this hero.
And I feel like they can get away with the greed of having a carry void just because their opponent's draft doesn't necessarily do anything super strong. And either way, they're dealing with like what a Viper that has to force fights on him, kind of, and they have to back him up, and just feels like it's going to be very difficult. But InFamous does have lane winner heroes. That's definitely guaranteed that they get to play around with, and that could be what they need to push them into an advantage, and then maybe snowball it.
All right.
Maybe that's their plan.
Snowball it, huh?
Yeah, with the toss indeed. We have a focus once again on the laning stage. It is InFamous that is the one to be looked at here because they are the underdog and they need to just put the foot in the pedal right now to make it through. Let's find out if they can with ODPixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Steve. And yeah, best of one time. It's all very exciting. Na'Vi versus InFamous. There's going to be a lot of battling, a lot of brawling. I'm ODPixel. I'm here with Fogged. Fogged. We've just seen the two lineups, finishing off with a Void, finishing off with a Morphling over on the side of InFamous. What do you reckon about?
I kind of like the Morphling, to be honest. I think it gives them a different target that they actually have to doom, because before the problem was that Lil, it's just like, I just have to doom Omni Knight. Now it gets a little split. Now it's like, I have to doom Omni, but I also have to doom the Morphling in some of these situations. So I kind of do like that one. And also there's the interaction, of course, versus the Gyrocopter. Getting flat cannon in the midst of the fights when you replicate can be very nice for that AoE damage. But I think overall, I think InFamous wants to play it a bit of a fast-paced here, and they want to try to abuse the long cooldowns of Na'Vi. Because I think Na'Vi is very, very ulti reliant on this game. Doom and Chronosphere, they really need to be able to take the fights. That being said, though, it's really going to be up to if this Morphling can get free farm, if they can make all the space in the world with this Viper and this Omni Knight and the support.
Yeah, I think, as you say, eyes are going to be on the Morph. We did see earlier, Minos, or Tara Hayama, as you want to call him, he really went off this morning. He had some very, very strong games.
He did.
As he was able to really be quite a threat against RRQ. Obviously, as we've been mentioning against Na'Vi, it is going to be quite a lot more difficult, but we'll see what InFamous can do in an attempt to put a bit of a dent into the CIS lineup that has been on the up and up as of late. Na'Vi stronger and stronger, and obviously with the more recent change, having Lil now in the lineup. We saw Lil yesterday, in fact, have some very good performances.
He did, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do with the Doom, because this is something we've always said about Lil, right? Is he plays
one
like
of his heroes.
He plays a massive amount of heroes. He's just very hard to predict what he's really going to play from game to game. And me and you we were really silently hoping for a Huskar.
I was hoping for an InFamous Huskar.
But yeah, they did go for the Morph, which I think this is a little bit more exciting.
Sure.
Huskar can sometimes just be like, oh.
Absolutely, especially if we see some clutch plays come out in terms of the Morph. As you said already, there's obviously the Gyro that's going to be very nice to sort of take hold of in these team fights. And I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of heroes. Having the extra sort of time walk as well. Yeah, lots of things that he can play around with there.
He does have a good chunk of things, like even like the, I mean, if you can go into the Doom, Scorched Earth plus Infernal Blade, there's a lot of different ones. The Gyro is definitely the main one, though. Yeah, I think you can even use the axes, right, too. You turn to Beastmaster, you put out a Hawk, you use axes, and your damage is more, too. So he does have ways that he can play around.
Yeah, I'd imagine that should work. Yeah.
The Gyro is definitely the preferred. And InFamous, they will be doing an aggro tri-lane, and Na'Vi is dodging, because they have a very weak tri-lane at the moment. With the Witch Doctor, Doom, and Void, it's not the greatest.
Oh, yeah. You want to keep Crystallize away from any sort of early fighting that InFamous are going to be hungry for. We'll see if InFamous change or react to this lane dodge that Na'Vi have managed to succeed with.
I like the lanes for InFamous this time around. Having like the Omni Knight going to be able to get something for sure. And they're actually going to punish. They're going to be able to pressure General quite a lot down here.
Yep, straight in with the shards. A few punches with the Thunderstrike out as well. I'll be able to get him down to half health, keep him at a bit of a bay, and make sure that the space is there for Minos to farm away on Morphling. Top lane, as you say, Stinger, we're going to be able to see him sort of get involved, but in terms of actually slowing down Crystallize's farm, the back of the Doom, it's going to be kind of hard for the Omni to do so. I imagine what we're going to see sort of just a flat trade in CS on this top lane.
I mean, I think Void will farm a bit more than the Omni.
Yeah, okay.
The Omni should still get a decent amount of last hits. The mid one's going to be the interesting one, because Viper has a great matchup versus the Gyro, so LeBron actually has to just stay there. Schofield already is making the rotation toward mid as this Tusk.
Dendi, pretty low at the moment. Maledicts will be popped down onto Pepita, but they're just going to run down Dendi here. Dendi I think that's going to be your first blood, and it
Sure
is
is.
indeed InFamous getting first blood. As it seems, Na'Vi just were not prepared at all for that tusk to just walk in from Na'Vi's own high ground.
Yeah, before this series actually, before this best of one started, I was gonna say that it's actually like the Lil versus Schofield for me, because I feel like these two guys are gonna have to have heavy impact on the games even before I saw the heroes picked up.
I mean, because of course, as we always say, we have seen in the past, Schofield's performances sort of single-handedly step InFamous up to the point where they have been threatening some of the top tier teams in Dota 2. So
Yeah, I mean that one. Everyone always thinks of like that game versus Liquid,
Yeah.
where Schofield on their spirit just went absolutely crazy.
So definitely the one of the heroes in these early laning stages that Na'Vi have got to be very clued up about his whereabouts. Make sure they don't get caught out by these sort of movements. He's going to hang around mid, sort of continue to match up the pairing of this LeBron Witch Doctor, make sure that space is there for the Viper to get that farm. At the moment, CS just big miss sort of about both heroes in that mid lane. Is too fancy, never too high, 5 for 5, 4 for 5. Bottom lane, bit of a run down. Got the kinetic field to hold back General, but there's the route from Lil. Comes in with a rotation. They'll be able to surround him, and they'll cut him down. At the same time, though, back towards the mid, Pepita and Schofield once again getting in, getting on top of Dendi, taking down that Gyrocopter. And as it seems, LeBron Witch Doctor just unable to really stop this duo of killing the Gyro.
Yeah, Pepita's sacrificing some last hits because they're just going for straight kills. He's just like strictly harassing, but it's absolutely worth it, getting those kills. And the biggest thing is when you have a Morphling on your team and you're securing that Morph free farm, it's absolutely perfect. And quick smoke up coming out from InFamous. They want to try to get another kill here. Lil showing his face. This could be it.
There we go. Snowball to lead in. They're ready to surround him. Kinetic field's down. Lil will go for the TP attempt, but he's not going to make it. The burst too high from the Morphling as Minos comes in for the finisher. 3 for 1, InFamous.
Yeah, and then putting all this pressure has forced the Doom to kind of move around, which gives Stinger now the 1v1, which is advantageous for the Omni Knight. So great moves coming out from InFamous in these first 4 minutes, already claiming themselves a 1k gold lead before the 4 minutes.
Quite a stat there though for Crystallizes Void. Very, very strong win rate. And with those wins as well with the Na'Vi's Crystallized Void against some of the bigger teams in Dota, the victories over EG, VP, LGD. So we'll only have to keep eyes on how this Void has an impact this game. And as you say, you know, he's getting the same amount of farm as the Omni. Sure, the Omni's a little ahead, but Omni at the moment unable to really bully him out, even though he has been left alone on this Void. He got the early few levels as such, so he can hold his own in terms of being able to hit the creeps and not worrying about putting himself in too much danger in this one.
Yeah. Dendi's starting to catch back up mid. They're heavily prioritizing defending him too. They've placed actually 2 wards to make sure that they can't just keep going for the kills.
Look
But
at
now,
this TP.
steps up far.
Schofield straight from the tree, snowballs in, there will be backup. Lil moving in, paralyzing cast bounces as well, holding back Pepita and Schofield. Schofield, he's trying for Dendi. Dendi pops this out. Will it be enough to keep him alive? It won't. The rocket barrage damage just too low. Cannot kill Schofield before he finishes off Dendi. It's a 2 for 1 at the moment, favoring InFamous. Schofield trying to get himself away. The sigil slowing down Lil. Schofield will be fine.
That was so smart by the Tusk. Like Schofield gets the level up, pops the sigil instantly. That actually saves his life there to walk away and
Make sure
reducing
that
the sacrifice.
InFamous again, get another favorable trade. 2 for 1.
And they get the bottom. The Morphling gets the kill on the Beastmaster again. So Minos having absolute full free farm.
Obviously, as you mentioned at the start, for Na'Vi, their lineup is more oriented around getting the big team fight together. They're working. They're going to be working around the chrono, the cooldowns, the roars, and we'll see how things sort of switch up for them when they start to make moves as a unit. But it seems in terms of the lane matchups, you said at the start, you said you liked what InFamous was doing with the lanes, and we're certainly seeing that work out so far in these first 5 minutes or so.
Na'Vi now trying to punch back. They are smoked up, trying to punish Pepita. They even get a haste rune to close the gap with the Centaur stuff. But Schofield is in the area. He seems like he knows. Look at his positioning. Just ready to break the smoke. Even the Disruptor has rotated over.
Also have the Omni Knight quite close.
Yeah, even Stinger, he ports in to the shrine.
He is prepared for this fight. Obviously still spotted out by Na'Vi's ward, so they know exactly what's coming in onto that mid lane.
They're bringing 4 heroes mid right now. the collapse on the side of InFamous versus Dendi.
This wraparound from the Disruptor. Again, the wards from Na'Vi should be aware of this, but still Dendi, he's going to be caught on the front lines. They roll in straight away. TPs are coming in from Na'Vi, but Dendi, he's already fallen. LeBron as well, dropping low. They should be able to finish off a second, and they do. LeBron goes down. InFamous find 2 kills. Now they turn towards Lil. They're looking for another. And at the same time, Minos, he finished off General again in that bottom lane. So across the map, InFamous just getting kill after kill. 4 kills in quick succession there during that last minute of gameplay. And 9 for 2. Great. I mean, the biggest thing is this Morphle, he's getting out of hand.
Yeah, he's getting out of hand.
Absolute free farm and solo kills.
And the map read there by InFamous was excellent. Having this bottom ward, they're like, okay, no one's helping Beastmaster, no one's helping Void, no one's helping Void. The supports are off the map, so they know they're trying to make a play on Pepita, because killing the Morphling at this point is impossible, and killing the Omni Knight is also impossible. So the only logical play is to try to go for the Viper, and then Excel saves the Glimpse, glimpses the Void out as soon as he TPs to try to counter with the Chrono, and they just, yeah, clear 4 heroes off the map that quickly.
I'm going to see Na'Vi try and react to this movement from InFamous. Lil and LeBron leading the way. They'll turn towards Schofield, setting him up. Have got the Maledict upon him, but he's still got the Snowball to buy some time. And backups in for InFamous. They're going to look to just close the gap with the Snowball straight onto LeBron, bringing Minos in for the action. LeBron will turn, try and punch back, but he's going to get melted. A quick zap from the adaptive stroke. Minos will find the kill. 10 for 2.
This is a very, almost perfect early game by InFamous with all their movements.
It really is. This is, I mean, as we said earlier, InFamous, they did perform very well. It was always going to be questionable if they could sort of keep it up against a team like Na'Vi, and this opening 8 minutes certainly seems to be a big fat yes so far. Bottom lane, quick waveform away as they look to disengage. Na'Vi coming forward. InFamous a little low on the mana, and such Lil will get the wraparound. The axes are out. Schofield pops the stick charges, will keep himself alive. Axel won't be quite as fortunate. They get the disruptor Na'Vi, but look at this. Minos, he wants to come back in, find some return kills, gets the zap out onto Lil. That's another kill for the Morphling, and on the side of it, General, he's going to get caught out. The shards blocking him in here, allowing Minos to just punch him from the sideline. Crystallize turns up though. Chrono's out. They've caught this guy. They'll try and roll in, pick him up, but that ain't going to work, Schofield, as Schofield will fall as well. Na'Vi able to strike back there. Crystallized Void, as we said, this is the big game winner. He's got a great win rate, a great track record with his heroes. These sort of rotations are what proves that. He comes in, and that is the dream kill for Na'Vi to get.
He was very patient too. He sat there for a good 5 seconds or 6 seconds, hiding behind a tree before he jumped in. He has to get the Chrono before the attribute shift starts, because if the attribute shift starts, they don't get that kill by any means.
Yeah. And we saw the attempts go. I believe that would have worked in the past, right? You used to be able to snowball and grab someone, but you can't indeed do that anymore. And Schofield,
at least he made the effort, right?
He made the effort, just in case his teammate doesn't read the patch notes and he gets flamed, you know.
Yeah.
He has to show that he put the effort in. Na'Vi able to hit back a bit and crystallize, of course, second highest on the net worth. Still only 500 gold or so between himself and the Morph, so this Void very much in it. He did get that lane at the start, which was helped out by Lil. Even when left in the 1v1, Crystallize was still able to farm okay, but the movement from InFamous comes in. They shift up towards the top lane, old Stinger, and Minos putting some pressure onto the tier 1 of Na'Vi.
Yeah, like we said though, it is a very, very ulti-reliant lineup on the side of Na'Vi in comparison to InFamous. Sure, InFamous, they have some that are very useful, but Na'Vi needs Chronosphere, they need Doom to really go for those type of plays. We've got Roar online now too. They could look for getting some small pickoffs.
Crystallize. Around on this bottom, boys quite simply here, but as you say, without the Chrono, hard to make things happen. Sure, if he gets on top of the Disruptor, gets a few bashes, can still pick off the supports. Bottom lane, Schofield got an Invis Rune picked up. He's looking to close the gap onto General. Straight away with the shards, blocking him down. They will turn with the Roar onto the Morphling. Lil was done the Infernal Blade onto Schofield, and the TP's now come through. Repel out onto Minos. Jumps straight back in. In fact, LeBron, he's the one in trouble. Paralyzing cast will save him, though. The bounces between the Morph and the Omni Knight hold them back. InFamous, getting Minos out of there. There'll be a snowball passed onto Lil. Lil pops the stick charges, will keep himself alive. InFamous actually focusing General instead. They want the Beastmaster kill, they'll get it, and at the same time, Lil does get finished off as Minos on the Morph comes in with a wraparound. InFamous will be able to claim both kills, get the pressure onto the tower, and as you say, as it seems for Na'Vi, when they don't have the big ults, it just seems a little bit of flustered. They know themselves. They can't really do anything. It's very hard for them to form a defense against heroes like this Morphling, who's ready to zip in and zap in every 10 seconds.
Yeah, excellent pace of the game coming out from InFamous. Na'Vi's gonna, I mean, they really need this Doom to get level 6 ASAP for them to actually have kill threat without Chronosphere. And he's only level 4 at 11 minutes. The same. LeBron has now hit 5, but he's got the Tome of Knowledge. It looks like he wants to pass that to Lil.
I like this as well.
Oh, Lil's just shy of 6, though. Just shy.
They've got the Chrono back up, though. And he has got the Mask of Madness picked up, so certainly stepping up his fighting potential at this stage of the game. He can get those extra punches through. And they find with this Chrono.
Lil really wants to sap experience. You see him sitting in mid since he's just a hair away from that level 6.
But the movement, as it seems from Na'Vi, is going to be off the mark. They're sending Crystallize up towards the top lane through the jungle, whereas the side of InFamous, they're actually making a rotation themselves. They're heading down towards bottom, maybe looking to see if they can catch anyone out behind that tier 1 tower as Minas on the morphing does push in on the bottom lane. Not going to be the case. Na'Vi still eyeing up that Viper in the mid lane. You know, the Viper wouldn't be too terrible, but at the same time, diving the tower could provide time for InFamous to react.
Both teams did like a bit of a smoke movement there with, and they placed wards. That was the big thing. So they warded watch Ancients on the side of InFamous and the deep rotations towards bottom, while on the other side, it's actually pretty similar wards coming out from Na'Vi. Just watching any movements toward those safe lane towers. Very early Lincoln's going to be coming out for Minos. He's just about 1,200 away from it. That's gonna make it a lot harder for Na'Vi to get those type of pickoffs with the Doom and with the Beastmaster.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
In terms of sort of spells to break the Lincolns that answer the big ults, it's not great. It's Cask and Homing Missile, but not really the most reliable ways to do it.
It's gonna have to get like a neck creep or something, like anything like that to be able to break it.
Top lane Na'Vi will be able to push forward. Mask of Man is popped by Crystallize. He's got that punch, that attack speed to take it down, but down on the bottom lane. Two reactions coming in. Lil, run down here. Minos, playing quite aggressively. Cuts down the Hawk with the adaptive strike.
And they saw Lil. They have this ward there here too. Schofield's now making a kind of rotation down, but he's a little afraid of the Shrine reaction now. He backs up toward his teammates.
Oh, shards are attempted. Won't get the block off, but they're still going to try and commit with the snowball. Static Storm is down onto the Doom. Minos there from the sideline, zips across. They'll take down Lil. Now they turn towards the Brawl with the Roar. Push through, jump forward from Crystallize. Gets the Chrono out onto 2. Takes down Minos. Now turns towards Schofield. Schofield, he will fall as well. Na'Vi have claimed 2 in response for losing Lil. GA now comes out from Stinger. InFamous still trying to fight this. They surround Dendi. Dendi will fall. InFamous getting themselves a second kill in response, but the cast bounces between Stinger and Pepita. The Purification comes down in time onto the Viper. Pepita does manage to finish off a 3rd, but it costs him his life. 3 for 3, 4 for 3. Na'Vi will come out on top as Crystallize is able to clean up again. Another successful fight for Na'Vi, only just though. Of course, as we saw Na'Vi themselves lose 3 heroes. But we're seeing Crystallize survive. He makes it out on top. He gets these crucial chronos that Na'Vi need to secure each team fight. And his game still looks to be a perfect one. Him and Minos, neck and neck on net worth. These two cores are carrying both teams on the back of them, and it's going to be very exciting to see who can come out on top in the long run. As Crystallize will go straight for the Shadow Blade after the Mask of Madness, just because of how important, as we're seeing, it is for him to find these perfect chronos.
Yeah, they got the Roar on the Morphling before he got the shift, and then the Chronosphere came out on top there. But it was also, this was a bit of a concern that I was talking about for InFamous, is diving a little bit too far, right? If they were trying to get the Shard Trap on Lil, then the Snowball takes him into a kind of an awkward area. They're actually very lucky that the Shrine wasn't available, because that, I think, would have made it maybe even like an even worse team fight for them. But all of Na'Vi quick to respond.
Of course, in terms of net worth, though, Dendi still certainly struggling on his gyro.
Yes.
A few engagements that we've seen, he turns up and he does get prioritized by InFamous. Of course, at this stage of the game where you're a gyro without, well, he's got the drums now, but before so very, very susceptible to being bursted down by heroes on InFamous's lineup.
Lincoln's is finished, coming out on the courier. There's a big timing here for InFamous, and there's no Chronosphere available for 20 seconds, so trying to take advantage of that. Navi's got book 1 on general as well. It's going to be book 2 in a moment. So that'll be at least nice for them to be able to burst down targets if they are a little bit lacking on damage, as we've seen.
As you say, InFamous, they have to keep track of the chrono cooldown. 5 seconds and it's up, and Shadow Blade's there as well. General already kicking off the fight, goes in with the Roar. Repel comes out to Schofield, will run himself away. Eyes on Crystallize comes in, and he has the chrono back up, ready to go. Catches out 3. They'll take down Schofield, they'll take down Minos, and they'll probably get Stinger as well. Time dilation slow comes into play. Crystallize jumps forward. Axel is going to try his best to run away, but you know Crystallize wants to come in. Smart TP though, sticks on the high ground, so Crystallize will not get the vision straight away as he goes across. But again, as I say, they had to be so aware of this chrono cooldown, because you know that Crystallize, every time it's there, he's instantly going to look to fire. And obviously, to give InFamous a bit of credit, the Shadow Blade pickup certainly would have caught them out. But you have to be prepared for anything. This is Crystallize Faceless Void.
I think they have to start, like, Excel has to really prioritize getting the Static Storm on top of him there, because I think he threw it on, like, the left side there, on, like, a Witch Doctor. He needs to have that Static Storm on the Void in every single situation, because otherwise Morph just dies. Like, the Doom was blocked by the Lincolns, but it doesn't matter if you just get chronoed.
Where's my pension?
I don't think Minos is too happy about all that. He's actually queued up a Midas.
Oh. He's not gonna.
No, but that's a very Kotaro Hayama
is that a thing to do?
I mean, they even say he's a bit of a clown. He's a bit of a clown. And here we go, the Gyro versus Gyro.
Yes, some fantastic classic dogfights in the air between Na'Vi and InFamous. And Minos, he's got it. Schofield's there to help him seal the deal. LeBron as well. He's going to be in trouble for trying to come forward and help his fellow teammate as he'll hide in the jungle. Most certainly come hunting, and they'll find him. The Doctor is out. Double kill for Minos. He's getting close to that Midas recipe goal. And there he is. He's changed it, yeah. He's changed.
They always say he's a payaso in Spanish, so he's a clown.
Excuse me.
What?
No rude words.
It's not a bad word. It's a fine word.
Top lane Crystallize.
Dire's
Big
top
time.
tower is under
You got to be
attack.
worried about if you're InFamous.
Dire's structures are
Chrono's
fortified.
back up. Gotta be aware of this one.
Radiant's
Crystallize as
bottom
well.
tower
Closing
is
in on the
under attack.
BKB. Halfway.
Dire's top tower
About
is
halfway
under
through
attack.
it.
I really like Stinger's item build this time around. He's going for that Midas, being greedy, going for Yules to protect himself, and versus that time dilation that can be pretty annoying, and then going for the Aghanims. Because the Gyrocopter in the Void, you can negate the majority of the damage. Because actually, looking at Navi's draft, they have like no magical. It's like Gyrocopter early on, the Flak and, or the Barrage as well as the Call Down, but later on, majority going to be physical damage coming out from them. So Blink finished up on General. He's got better ways to get into the backline to the fight and find the Disruptor to the Omni Knight. And LeBron's been doing a great job at dewarding too. I think that's like the third or fourth one I've seen him take out in their jungle.
See this, watch this.
Let me see it, let's try it out. Did you get it?
Oh, look at that.
War destroyed, he's got
War's
3.
destroyed.
There you go, what? Nice. Nice one.
Bye. Production value here at GESC, ladies and gentlemen.
InFamous all starting to group up now. Chronosphere is available for Na'Vi. This is their big time to shine. However, all of InFamous is together. They do seem aware that Na'Vi is trying to make a move.
Seems very much prepared for this. InFamous. See how they react once again to this time. Elias has the chrono. Ready to commit.
Man, I didn't realize how Lil's just been secretly farming like a madman. Look at his net worth. He's ahead of Dendi and tied with General. And he's got the medallion too. They're going for a sneaky road.
I don't think InFamous is going to suspect this at all. There's no reason
Oh,
for
they
them
throw
to.
a scan.
I mean, they're heading over, but I think this rush is already gone.
Yeah.
Na'Vi. They've got away with it. They get in. They get the Roche. They get the Aegis onto Dendi. And the shards will slow down a little bit, but they'll get back out. Very,
nice.
very, very quick heads-up play from Na'Vi. This game, 20 minutes in, it's a close one for sure. 19-12, sure, the lead in kills is there for InFamous, but it's only less than a 1k difference with that Roshan now going towards Na'Vi. So
Yeah. And that's
an
with
incredibly close game.
That's with how farm. I mean, Lil's got more gold than both of the supports combined on InFamous. But Dendi's absolutely struggling though. Still
Radiant's
bottom 4 net worth
tower
on this
is under
Gyrocopter.
attack.
1 in 6.
Dire's middle
Well, they have
tower
given him
is
the
under
Aegis.
attack.
So now InFamous, of course, they want to. I don't know if they really need to completely wait out the Aegis. They probably don't want to take a head on 5v5, but they're going to wait for the Ethereal Bait to be finished on Minos, because then they can get quick, easy pickoffs. So they do have an idea of where Na'Vi is because of this ward that they have down bottom.
I think the thing is as well, surely if you're Na'Vi, you are more than fine if the game sort of hits a passive pace, because the game goes on, you are going to have this sort of gyro basis for a duo, sort of very, very strong late game carries, whereas InFamous, it's going to be a lot of weight on Minos. This Morphling as the game goes on. As the rest of his cores will fall off in terms of sort of damage output in comparison to heroes like the Void and Gyro once they get sort of those late game heavy pickups.
Yeah, and I mean, it's also, you always versus like a Doom and Void, playing versus those two heroes later on, like late stage of the games just become crazy.
Yeah, they're also just so game winning in the right situations.
So at this stage, Navi's going to claim themselves quite a lot of map control here and probably close this gold advantage to 0. Miss just trying to get this Ethereal Blade online. They've now got it finished for Minos, so he can get quick, easy pickoffs in the back lines.
Dire's bottom tower.
I mean, Crystallize is about to have BKB. They're going to have a very hard time actually bringing down this Void now, because in theory, you know, the Disruptor Static Storm is a very good spell versus Void, but he hasn't gotten the opportunity to actually find Crystallize. Crystallize is definitely playing incredibly well this game, as he needs to.
As we expected with the stats, they were not wrong. In lane, quick burst, take the Aegis out of the hands of Dendi. In time, down towards bottom, they managed to get the Static Storm out onto General. General does have backup, LeBron trying to help out. Doom gets dropped down, and can they get the kill in return with the Death Ward? They're going to get close to, and they do. They manage to get the Omni in return for losing their Beast Master. Crystallize comes in with the Chrono onto 2. They'll cut down Disruptor, but the burst is too high. Minos is the carry coming out on top. Will dispatch of this Crystallized Void. Now they turn towards Lil. They're going to get the Doom as well.
And he flaks the whole entire Ancients.
Oh, that's smart.
The dream.
Value farming and value flag from Minos. Be careful, sir.
Jeez.
He's falling a little low. But, I mean, this really is a game where it is the battle between Minos and Crystallize, and that was Minos coming out way on top. Bursting down Crystallize.
And he killed Dendi before the fight started, and to clear the Aegis, so Dendi comes to the fight late, so he steals the flak as well, so he has flak for the later on stage. That was very well played by the Morphling.
I mean, certainly look at the difference between Minos and Void because of those kills. I think we're seeing it there, you know, but the changes, the sort of the individual value of killing off the big cores as he did there, in terms of obviously just killing Crystallize in particular, really offsets the 2 cores in terms of overall net worth now, as Minos racing ahead, level 17. Very close to that 18.
And I mean, this is a very good Morphling game too.
Yeah.
They have means to catch him, but with this early Lincoln Sphere already picked up, and he's got an Omni Knight on his team, they make it much easier for him. And Lil,
try and go for the control. They have got the glimpse back, won't quite be back into the field, but it looks like it doesn't matter. They surround him, they punch him down, they'll take him out. Little's gone, 45 seconds, same time down bottom. The burst comes through. Crystallize will be there along with General. They're trying to bring down Minos in response for losing their Witch Doctor. He is very, very low, out of mana, and it will be beaten down. Slowly but surely, the 2 of them get him. The damage output with the Mask of Madness, having the Necro units as well, enough to just drain that Morphling right now.
he was literally mid-animation of doing the waveform, and the mana burn added up. InFamous trying to punch back, trying to find something here. General's got Blink, blinks away, and we'll be just fine.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It really is a close one, no doubt about it. And as we sort of would hope to see in these best of ones,
Dire's top
both
tower
teams
has fallen.
really finding it at it tooth and nail.
It really is just like the Crystallize versus Minos a lot of the time.
And as we see, it really does. It goes both ways. If they can get some sort of disable onto Crystallize and burst him with Minos before he gets the BKB off, the burst damage is enough at this stage to take him out. But at the same time, Crystallize is able to lay down a Chrono onto Minos. There's not a lot that Morphling can do about it.
Yeah. They're going to have the Omni Aghanim soon too, so we'll always have Guardian Angel for those situations.
I mean, that certainly makes Crystallize's life a lot harder.
Yeah, I mean, they will, if General's there though, they can always purge it off with the book. That's the one very nice thing that they can have. And it looks like he's actually going to be going for a Nullifier next on Crystallize.
Oh, I mean,
to be able to dispel.
another perfect answer to playing against this Axe GA that's going to be there soon. All in all, a very nice item for Void, because now Crystallize can look to sort of get the kills without having to worry about having the Chronosphere at the ready. So just that chase down potential. I'm sure that must have the inability to react with any of their items. Dendi still playing the catch-up game, and to be fair, he's starting to get himself back up in the rank.
Yeah,
back on level with Pepita in farm on that Viper.
Yeah, Navi's been constantly under vision though. Both, like, InFamous has been very, very attentive on keeping the wards up in the enemy jungle to watch the movements. And yeah, Dendi is catching up, but I'm still pretty impressed that Pepita, I mean, Pepita is 7-2, and this is, we saw before, it's like one of his most winning heroes, but he's keeping up as a Viper.
Build-wise, 1,200 gold. He's going to have a full IC for the team.
Yeah.
All the little bits adding up in terms of sort of just keeping one another alive in the chronosphere if they do get caught out.
Now they've got some more catch on the side of InFamous too, so not only relying on this glimpse, which they kind of have been, they have the Blink Dagger now on Schofield. Blink on Lil as well. That was picked up a bit earlier, of course, but both force supports have ways to actually get into the fight. Bit of a slowdown. InFamous, knowing that, you know, Na'Vi has Chrono, they have Roar, they've got Doom all available, so taking head-on fights isn't really the most ideal.
Minos looked like he was thinking about going for a quick burst play, but
Again,
a little risky.
Again, the ward's being placed on the left side. They saw all of Navi's rotation, so he gets a little bit scared to go for that. Crystallize.
He's got the Chrono.
He just got a plate mail though. He's got like 30 armor on this Viper.
You're not going for this on your own.
And you need to expend the Chrono, and then it's like, oh my god, if I don't get it, like you're in a very difficult spot for the next 2 minutes. So it's definitely not worth trying to go for that. I think that's the Aghanims finished as well now. Aghanims for Omni Knight and Manta Style for the Morphling. Does Na'Vi have anything else big coming out soon?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Don't see any.
Radiant's
Another tower for
bottom
InFamous.
tower is falling.
Down towards bottom, finally finish it off. Both
Incredibly
teams
close. Yeah, 1k gold lead, 2k, not even 2k experience. It's just neck and neck.
Seems
Dire's
sort of
top
dodging
tower
one another.
is under
Na'Vi
attack.
will put the pressure up on top. They don't have Crystallize with them though. No Chrono for this push. Just a bit of a tickle away at the tier 3s.
Excel top.
And we'll go for the jump in. Immediately Raw, Death Ward, everything thrown down onto the poor old Disruptor. Takes Axel out of it. Interesting there. You can see Pepita. Highest average kills in 10 minutes in the entirety of this GESC lap.
He did have that one Razor game where he just popped off, right?
that's
He had
true.
like 14 kills or something in the first 20. Or first like 18.
Star RQ, saw that this morning. Quite a game for, quite a series for InFamous as a whole. So far, as we've been saying, standing their own against Na'Vi.
I think InFamous might want to have like... I mean, I say this, but they do already have wards on the left side, but I feel like having a ward in their jungle might actually pay off. Because Na'Vi's been playing a lot around that area.
Dire are scanning.
I think Crystallize does have now the Nullifier finished, and Dendi's gone for the S and Y. So some stats to tank up. This Nullifier. We've seen the power of what it can do.
Unless they're in the pit.
And they've got the AC finished too. They kill it very quickly. The Hawk does scout it.
Oh, Na'Vi. Are they going to head over? They're trying to, but look at the speed it falls. Can he get in there? Jump forward, General. Throws out the Axis. The Aegis is going to be picked up by Minos. They'll get the Chrono out. GA is out in response. Crystallize trying to finish off this Morphling, but with the GA up, he can't quite do it. Crystallize will be able to take the cheese, pop it himself, jumps back out with the Time Walk. He'll keep himself alive with that stolen cheese. Now let's over the Doom, take the Aegis out of the hands of Minos. The BKB's out from Dendi on the front lines with the flag. He's doing a lot. The Death Ward's still down onto Pepita. General, back for a second go, out with the Roar, with the Mute as well, down, out onto Minos. Minos trying to wait for himself out of this. He's got the self-E blade with the magical damage. He's bringing him down low. Can he really play his way out of this? The Purification comes out as Stinger. Minos turns into the Gyro. He's got the flag. He's hitting back.
Oh,
Minos, he's still alive here. Wave falls forward with the repel as well from Stinger. They just can't kill him. He's chasing them down as the Gyrocopter. There's 3 dead on Na'Vi. Minos is Morphling, turning things around. Those sort of gyromorphs that we were seeing there, absolutely insane as he just kicks out an incredible amount of damage in this fight and keeps himself alive.
I didn't get to see exactly. I know that he roared an Ancient there on General, but I think I didn't see if the Lincoln's was back up. So I think he was expecting that Lincoln's was off cooldown, so he didn't want to get it blocked. So he's just trying to go for like a push play here. And this big one was by Stinger there. Stinger not being caught inside the fight, getting that Guardian Angel off, getting the heals and repels on Minos was absolutely clutch.
And here we have straight in. That's a tier 3 down. Dendi's had to buy back for this one. They're going to try the best for the defense. They look towards Minos. Quick wave bomb down to the low ground. Turns for the E-Blade. Dendi gets bursted low. Plus the BKB. Only just keeping himself alive there. The melee racks are taken. InFamous now with an 8k gold lead and a melee racks up. Minos, he came here to win.
Yeah, they're in a very comfortable spot now. Now they've got Blink Dagger, they've got more positioning items, a lot of luxury gold going their way because of these Raxes being brought down.
Is under attack.
Look at the damage dealt by this Morphling. No surprises, really. And
Yeah.
as you've been said as well, so the quiet hero behind it, Pepita, getting a lot done in these fights as
Yes.
well. Each and every time, just laying down the nether toxins and such. Pretty annoying, you know. Some of the heroes who don't really necessarily think about it a lot, but the Void and the Beastmaster taking away sort of the bash potential and the attack speed, or they're sort of significant parts of the team fight that Na'Vi do sort of rely on in terms of getting the damage out. It gets that breakout with the poison. They're not going to be there.
And they have so many things they actually have to focus on the side of Na'Vi. It's like, okay, we really have to focus this Omni Knight and this Morphling, but during all that, yeah, like you're talking about, Pepita's just sitting there wailing on everybody.
And that AC, and now very close to having an S and Y. He's going full right click. On the side, they'll certainly show that Hawk.
Now, I actually think now Minos has
he's
just about,
massive.
he has enough
He's-
to one-shot Dendi with the ethereal
Oh,
combo.
absolutely. If that BKB doesn't come out in time, Dendi's dead.
Yep.
A lot of agi on this morph. He's still got ways to go in terms of just stepping it up even more. Queuing up the butterfly, of course, next. Ramping it up so that burst, we say, will just be at the point where it can take down anyone. Line up a Na'Vi, or at least bring them very, very close to dying.
I'm surprised Stinger's actually not going for Lincolns for himself anyway, because I think in these fights it's been pretty important that he's not getting doomed up, and I think like Lil's been having a bit of trouble actually finding the doom targets. Like in that last one too, I think he doomed the morph as he was pretty much dying, and so they really need to Na'Vi needs to be able to get these big ultimates on more crucial targets at better times.
Infamous,
Very comfortable now.
absolutely, certainly feeling the lead that they've managed to amount.
Dire are scanning.
You can really see that drop off there. Network for Na'Vi. That last fight, incredibly painful for them with the way that Infamous have been playing.
Radiant's top
It was like
shrine
it was
is under
split second
attack.
things too. Like
Yeah.
I was clicking on Crystallize the Void. He had time walk up in like a half a second, pretty much. As soon as he jumps in, it was like if he had it just up a little bit sooner, maybe he could have gotten in. But yeah,
I mean-
it's just the little things.
Any sort of fight where the
Radiant's
chrono
top tower
doesn't
has
result in a
fallen.
kill, probably going to be a lost fight for Na'Vi.
Yeah.
As we saw, he jumps in, solo chrono onto the Morphling, and he can't kill him. And that is when you start to, big flags are sort of raised in the area of whether Na'Vi can actually get the kills if they don't get the chrono out. So get multiple heroes in it. Crystallizer's got to really continue to look for that perfect opportunity. At this stage of the game, one-man chronos aren't going to quite cut it.
Yeah, it does feel like it's a bit harder to execute on the side of Na'Vi. Just they have to be able to see the back lines, and the thing is that Stinger can play so far away because he's gone for that Aghanim's build, so he's always going to be able to get Guardian Angel off in the fights.
Mine is certainly paying off.
Yeah.
And 2.8k towards the refresher. Obviously, the difference here between these two. So the kill and assist goal, surprisingly, very, very close between one another.
It's fairly even. It's just like the buildings
just
that
the
the mobs
farming.
got into. Yeah, the neutrals and the the buildings.
The biggest differences here.
I mean, it makes sense. It's not a Battle Fury Void,
Sure,
and it's you're
yeah.
versus a Morphling, so
Yeah,
there's no way you're going to farm creeps as fast as a Morphling when you're a Void. Unless you have that build. So Pepita is also queued up a Nullifier next.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This Viper's level 23.
Nice.
Like this...
This
like
is
the
crazy
level,
how much Pepita has found.
the
I mean,
level 25 on Viper is actually pretty crazy. I don't know if he's... I really like the Nether Toxin silences. I actually think that's the better one, but the 120 damage
That's
is
a
quite
lot
a
of
lot.
damage.
Especially in this type of game where he's getting kind of ignored. I feel like he could actually start being a big damage dealer in this game.
I mean, absolutely. If you're going for the S&Y AC build, you're being the carry yourself in that sense.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll definitely see him consider the 120
I mean,
damage.
the other thing is that the Nether Toxin silence is an 100% you can silence permanently if the people are stuck in it, of course. But
True, but BKBs are out in the claws.
Yes, exactly.
But you're right. BKBs are going to get, they're going to go down in duration. And
I hope he takes the damage. I don't think I've
Yeah.
actually seen a Viper take the damage.
No.
I haven't seen many 25.
I was going to, level 25 Vipers have not been a frequent occurrence. So
Yeah.
if anything, I feel like a lot of the Vipers that we've been seeing lately have just been losing. Peter was sort of saying to me beforehand, this is his hero.
This is his hero.
This is the hero that they will get him and take him at any opportunity, and we're seeing why.
They play very comfortable around it is the thing.
Invisibility.
So there's the gem, of course, picked up from InFamous a couple moments ago. So they're just continuing to clear this map control and just accrue more and more of a net worth advantage.
I mean, as well, I'm wondering. I'm looking at Dendi. I know he's got the butterfly queued up. He's got a lot of money. Are we getting close to consider rapier territory for the Gyro?
I don't think so. I think this is a game where they can take it in the later stages because they've got Doom and Void. I feel like the Rapier's like the fact that you can just get one-shotted by Morphling is way too scary to have a Rapier.
Okay, yeah, you're absolutely right. In a Morphling game, I don't know if Envy would even. Actually, Envy would probably be fast.
They'd have to be a little bit more behind though.
Yes. But as you say, you know, Na'Vi, even though 11k behind, 1 melee racks down, they've got sort of the Gyro Void combination, which in itself can turn any sort of team fight. Especially, yeah, Dendi now with the completed butterfly will now offer quite a punch himself. His bottom lane, InFamous, heading towards the base. They're ready to try and look and set eyes onto a second set of racks here from Na'Vi. We'll see. And Na'Vi can the best of stopping them. They've got the Crimson Guard out to the tower, putting it out against that illusion push. Shadowblade as well picked up the general, so he's got that extra chance of getting in and finding those crucial setup draws for the fight. But we'll have to be aware, of course, that Schofield is walking around with that gem.
Full butterfly now too as well for Minos now. So
that's a lot of agi.
Yeah. He's only at like 307. 300. I'm not doing the math.
Do the maths, well, come on. 342.
There you go. Good job, dude. You did
That's
it.
Right.
That's a lot. And his damage is also very similar to that.
Dire are scanning.
InFamous just staying around the bottom area, looking to pick a fight. We found out now Roche is going to be spawning in 30 seconds.
Okay.
That's a huge Roche for both sides.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Refresher Shard on Void or on Doom or on Omni Knight
I
can
was
be
going to say
crazy.
Omni on InFamous is going to be the one that wants it down the lane. They managed to catch the Morph, but the GA comes through. They've doomed him, nullified him. They should have a good shot for killing him, but no. They repel the Snowball. They're buying some time here. Is it going to be enough? It's not. The Doom will persist, and they will be able to take down Minos. Na'Vi looking to turn things around and ready to chase for more. They go straight for Axel here. Dendi with the chase down. The flak hits fly through. Dendi will pick up the double. Pepita gets out just in the nick of time with that TP. But Na'Vi able to strike back hard, and this time that sort of just heavy solo focus, it'll probably kill pretty much anything in the game. With the Doom, the Chrono, the Nullifier, everything laid down onto Minos.
Yeah.
They can kill that Morphling and get him out of the game, but they have to catch him with that Chrono. Crucial time though, as you were saying, Roshan's up. Na'Vi are in there. This is that Refresher Shard Roshan, and Na'Vi, they should... I mean, there's 3 heroes up on InFamous. I mean, InFamous are going to know the importance of doing this. Can they actually stop Na'Vi though? They send the courier and they protect it so they can get the vision. Now, on the side, Lil, he's coming in, he's trying to draw InFamous away from this Roshan. Roshan falling so low, InFamous desperately trying to get in and involved in the pit. They've got the Snowball, they're coming in, they want to steal it. Who's going to grab what? Na'Vi will get the kill, Dendi will get the Aegis. Where's the shards and the Chooser? That's the big question. Pepita's being focused.
Shard's still on the ground.
So Na'Vi,
they got everything.
will get everything despite the attempt from InFamous to get involved in the pit. InFamous knew how crucial it was to try and stop Na'Vi from taking it all, but Na'Vi, they get everything and they get kills as well. They get Schofield, they get Pepita on his Viper.
And the game has completely turned.
That Roshan.
Yeah, the Roshan and just that Chronosphere by Crystallize. Again, 6-1 and 11 on this Void. It seems very hard for InFamous to actually take fights now into this. Every time that there's a Chronosphere available, all they really have to do is grab the Morphling and get a Doom on him.
And here we have it.
Minos.
Braun getting bursted. Minos focusing a second. BKB comes out from Crystallize, pops down the Chrono. Time walks quickly. He's caught Minos again. The buyback comes out from Pepita. The Doom's down onto this Minos. He's going to go down. He does not have buyback. The Morphling's out for 90 seconds. Na'Vi chasing up to the high ground, turning towards Pepita. The Infernal Blade down. The Snowball comes out from Schofield, buying some time for Pepita to stay alive. And now he can turn. Looks towards Lil. Lil will fall on the Doom. The Aegis is popped. The break's down. They surround this Gyro. Can Pepita carry the side through with Minos at the sidelines? It looks like he can. They'll take down Dendi. They've managed to trap up LeBron as well. InFamous will turn this game back just as quickly as Na'Vi were able to get hold of it. Pepita's Viper, now level 25, as he gets that triple kill. He's got the money for the Nullifier. And this, I mean, the whole game, we've sort of been shifting most of the focus towards this Morph, and I wouldn't be surprised if Na'Vi would have sort of tunnel visioned as well onto Minos. But now we're at a point where the Viper's the scarier of the two.
Yeah, I mean, they have to tunnel vision the Morpho. They have to throw everything on top of Minos, or he's just going to take control of the fight completely. But like the clutch situations there, the saves coming out from Schofield, the Snowball.
Snowballs. Yeah.
Yep, and then having time for the Stinger to get those heals off. And the repel on a Pepita. And he does take the damage down because of that build that he's done.
It's a lot of punching.
Yeah.
A lot of spitting. Pepita. The money pretty much for that butterfly if he wants to go all in.
Super back and forth game though.
Actually, I say that. Interesting. He picked up the Eagle song, and then he went back and sold it. So I wonder if he's considering something else.
Illusion.
I mean, obviously they're butterflies that maybe he considers an MKB for himself. Oh, the Hex is going to be chosen by Pepita.
Okay. So Hex to catch the Void.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Hex, of course, absolutely game-winning. If he gets a Hex onto the Void, there's not going to be much save at all from Na'Vi.
Yeah.
If he can catch Crystallize, that could be game over.
I mean, he already does a ridiculous amount of damage on the Viper anyway.
Yeah,
so and this gives him the mana sustain for him to actually just be able to spam everything constantly.
What a game between these two teams, an incredibly back and forth one, and one made ever so more exciting about the fact that it is just a best of one.
Yeah.
Top lane, Stinger, jumping forward, look at him was General. General with the Shadow Blade. Vision isn't there for InFamous, so General will be able to get out.
Yeah, he went downward thinking General would go back toward base, but General making the smart move. During that, Minos had a DD as well in the Morphling, so they were really looking to try to take some kind of fight.
I won't be surprised if we sort of see InFamous wait a little bit, because they are just 1,000 gold away from having the Aghanims on Disruptor as well.
Yeah, they're going to be getting big items. Aghanims on Disruptor, Refresher on the Omni Knight.
Dire are scanning.
Lane managed to find Vision onto General. They're going with the Snowball. General keeping the distance. He's going to go straight for the Shadow Blade TP out. He's got the Vision, but can't quite get in time to cancel the TP. General will be able to get back to the safety of his teammates.
So we do see Doom and we see Void, and we're like, man, those two heroes late game, they pack quite a punch. They always are gonna get scarier and scarier as the game progresses. But the same thing kind of goes if the Disruptor does get the Aghanim.
If he gets the
That's
Ags,
one of those items that can completely change a game.
Yeah.
And 9k gold lead. It went from a 12k gold lead to a 1k gold lead back to that 9k gold lead for InFamous. Same with experience. It's just been all over the place.
And the thing is, as we've seen, despite it being at the moment in favor of InFamous, it absolutely doesn't write Na'Vi off. We know that they can take a fight from behind. Of course, the difficulty goes up and up. There we go. That's quite.
The fifth
I'm a little surprised. I thought there would be a bit more. Only 5 since TI5.
I guess you don't really see Vipers get to that much gold a lot. Like, that's an expensive item for a Viper.
I mean, it is true. We do not see Vipers get to this sort of stage of the game and be in such a position that Pepita is every sort of day. But there we have it. But as we sort of discussed, absolutely understandable decision. Very, very quick blink out there. Nearly getting touched upon by InFamous.
These fights are really going to be up to the initiations. Who gets the initial catches, and that's
well, look at this. This 44-minute blink. So
Blink
Pepita,
Hex?
he knows. If he gets the blink hex off onto Crystallize, the start of the fight arguably is over. Like, that is such a big way for InFamous to kick things off. And his itemization, it's purely for that alone. I mean, maybe not necessarily the Void, but that's obviously going to be one of the higher priority targets.
to start
for
the fight.
pickoffs.
Start the fight 45. Yeah.
Because other than that, where's your initiation? Snowballs, there's nothing really sort of a wham bam, and that's your wham bam from InFamous that could lead to closing the game up in your favor.
Minos has gone for Shadow Blade now too, so he wants to try to get those catches on the sides and on the back. Overall, I'm really impressed with the warding game from InFamous, and just sure they bought the gem earlier and they had an advantage, so they were able to clear out a lot of the wards, but I do really like the way that they've been keeping map control a lot of the times.
Dendi has got the money for the MKB. As we've been saying, Dendi silently has been farming away. He's getting to the point where pretty damn big. I believe you want to show a stat, don't you?
I was trying, yeah.
There you go, sir.
Oh, did it work?
What are you trying to show?
I was just trying to show some support gold. Yeah. So pretty even on both sides of the two supports, getting those wards coming out, but I do feel like InFamous has been having a little bit more of that vision advantage, even though they're versus a Beastmaster, which is pretty significant in these type of games where initiation is everything. Especially now, initiation has actually become the most important thing in this game.
Initiation in terms of play and in terms of timings. That Roshan once again, it's got a few more minutes. That could be the point of the game where we really see both teams clash. I mean, as it is, Na'Vi are moving over to InFamous' half of the jungle.
Little Shadow Blade, he's going to walk into Schofield though, who has the gem.
He wants blink and dodge each other. Top lane, quick blink out from Pepita. As he catches wind of General, trying to make a sort sort of initiation. InFamous will keep themselves away from Na'Vi, but Na'Vi is trying to sweep across this half of the map, get control of this area around Roshan in preparation for when it is once back up.
Yeah. Map control is super important at this point. Not like, of course, the third Roshan, but also these double runes that come out are going to have a pretty big effect. Does go for the backtrack on the Void this time. I think that's understandable when you're playing versus a shotgun Morphling. Sure, the Chronosphere AoE is traditionally safer, but this one is the safe pick versus to not get bursted down.
Yeah.
And now he can actually maybe survive versus that Hex.
Yeah, he needs every bit of survivability he can get, especially with sort of after the BKB going for this fully offensive build and Nullifier into the completed Bloodthorn, which he's got the money for, but obviously at this stage of the game you are really starting to consider how much you want to sort of prioritize saving for that buyback. As one death without buyback could end the game, both teams with a significant amount of pushing potential in bottom lane. Noz, see if they can get a catch with Axel. They do have Stinger.
Good try here with the Disruptor ulti. They can.
They've got the jump in, they've got the setup. Static Storm's down, he's muted, he's getting bursted. That's Crystallized gone, 100 seconds and down. Quick plays there from InFamous. Dendi.
The Yule's Disruptor ulti is always one of the most... It's like uncounterable pretty much, because you just get caught in it, you're dead. Of course, it's the Yule's from the Omni Knight, but once the Disruptor has that Blink Dagger, it's much easier to pull that off every single time.
Now InFamous, they really want to try and force out that buyback from the Void. They know that Na'Vi's going to potentially struggle in a 4v5 without that Chronosphere from Crystallize.
Oh, definitely. They need the Chrono in this game. I think they could definitely just try to force that buyback. They don't want to lose a lot, because we do know, if you buy back, you don't get to have that gold penalty anymore.
Here we go. The high ground. Minos and Pepita starting to chip away. No protection is there at the moment for Na'Vi. Now the creeps come through. Look to refocus back onto the tier 3 tower. Crimson Guard slowing them down slightly, but InFamous have got their own Crimson Guard as well. They pop it out, they turn towards Dendi. Dendi's sort of on the front lines here. The Shards trapping him out. There's the Hex, quick limit capable to force back, keeps Dendi at bay. Na'Vi will be able to protect the Gyro. With the melee rack, that's going to be a different story. The melee racks in the bottom lane will fall. Na'Vi being very resilient in the sense that they do not want to buy back on this Void. They're protecting that buyback, but it will cost them the full and completed bottom and mid lane of racks, as InFamous will be able to take it away. Na'Vi do not expend the buyback, but they are now 2 full sets of racks down.
It's scary, right? Because if he buys back and goes in Chronos, and then InFamous all just buy back, and they go into that fight again, then Na'Vi's in a bad situation because Roche is back up. So they can just wait for that Chrono and then buy back and go for that if they do get picked off. Now this is all about this Roche fight here. Roar comes out.
They've got a good way to start it potentially. Quick force and the sharp block there for Scofield, making it very hard for Na'Vi to chase down Axel. They put the cooldown, force forward onto LeBron. He goes for the cast. Does manage to get to them with a bounce. The Death Ward as well beats into them. Buyback immediately from the Disruptor, as InFamous know the importance of holding on to this fight. Pepita trying to kite up this man. Will get the blink off. Blink dodges the Nullifier from this Faceless Void. BKB's been popped by Crystallize and Dendi. There's the Chrono. Do they have the damage? GA comes out, but of course Crystallize has already used the Nullifier. It isn't there to take off the GA. They'll get the Doom down, but he's already more to full strength. He'll turn, start to punch back. Lil falling low on the Doom. The Static Storm's out and down. LeBron Glimmer Caves to keep himself alive with the roll forward there. They close the gap on the bigger target. Crystallize is down as well as Dendi. Both cores buying back immediately for Na'Vi.
There's no Chrono, there's no Doom now. They've expended everything.
On the sideline, Stinger. He's got the setup onto General. They've are going to look to try and chase, but Scofield's not there. They don't have the gem. Scofield trying to get in range, but Stinger just didn't have quite the control on General, so General will get out of there.
I think they shrine up and they just look to pick a fight right away.
They've got the refresher orb on Doom, so they can get that second instance of it out. Oh, was...
He used it, yeah, he used it and put it back at, in the base.
Oh, that's smart. So they're not going to expect that at all.
Yeah.
They will not expect Doom to be back up. If that ends up being a big play, that is going to be incredibly clutch for Lil. I think only a few times in the past I've seen real true hides of the refresher orb, the classic Sea Freak one, I believe, back from TI5 comes to mind. Can Lil do something big with the Doom reveal? We'll jump forward. InFamous protecting the pit. Schofield ready to go in with Pepita. There comes out the Snowball to buy some time for it. Denny on the front lines. There's the second GA coming out. Mute onto the Viper, but it's just not enough. Pepita just lives through it all. The Death Ward's down. They do get the Doom out onto the Morphling. They're trying to chase him, but InFamous are doing a good job of keeping Na'Vi at bay. General finds the Roar, moves in with the Necro Books onto this Omni Knight. Dendi tidying in, looking straight for Stinger. Stinger falling low, and they'll take it.
Buybacks are all coming out. Morphling buys back, so does Doom.
And that Doom did end up finishing off the Morphling. So that surprise doing that pick up of the refresh orb and instantly putting it down, so they didn't know that a second instance of the ult was there, will allow Na'Vi to come out on top, but they're having to expend buybacks themselves. Lil gets back in.
And they're going to be able to try to look for...
General.
In the scope field here will go down.
That's the jam.
And Chronosphere's back online too. Jumping in the pit. Yes, Chrono's thinking they're in there.
He was... And the buybacks come out immediately now. Everyone buying back on InFamous. They've got the extra 2 out now. They're looking to try and get into the pit in time. Crystallize finishing up, but the snowball comes through. There's the Morphling as well. Roshan will fall in favor of InFamous. InFamous grab the edges.
Everything.
They get it all. And now Na'Vi, they have to call GG. Both calls are down without buyback. InFamous will take the best of one.
Wow. That was really well played by InFamous, to be honest. I think Crystallize had a lot of weight on his shoulders for the Void, but I mean, I think Crystallize also delivered. I think at the end there, he expected him to go back in that Roche pit.
Yeah.
And he tried to go for that, but InFamous all aware, everyone just buys back, and at these late stages of the games, that's where like initiation is absolutely everything. And if you're able to survive very long duration team fights like that, it's also super important. So Stinger, I don't know, Stinger.
It was
I don't know, Stinger for me, this one, he really stepped it up, because for me, I criticized him a good